On March 2019 or 2018, this was around the time that Anderson Cooper had interviewed Karen McDougal. And I noticed that they were talking about that today. And I thought, I got something to contribute to that conversation. And I went back in because I used this blog to kind of quiet me out during the time that the predecessor was in because a lot of people can't put their thoughts on paper, and I was a writing sister. So this blog is not for the faint of heart because if you got a short attention span, don't even go. I'm just being honest because I didn't even realize that I had wrote so much, but that was just a tool to use to kind of quiet me down because the predecessor was just totally out of totally out of control. And during that time of his being out of control, he had kind of attacked Joe and his wife Mika. And then I think after that I went and I said I'm gonna write a poem because this is unbearable. And if this comes around again, God, I really hope that uh, he's never be reelected because um, the head tilt. When you talk to people, you think this is not the behavior that a person should display. This is the commander in chief of our country, you know, and we're getting bullied. We take our kids to school and we tell them, never let nobody bully you, and a whole nation is getting bullied. And I thought, my God, this is unreal. But right now, I'm gonna give my contribution to March 2018. And you can find this poem in the blog nldrecognition.com. Like I said, I used the blog just basically to kind of write, and it was a tool because, like I said, everybody can't put their thoughts on paper, and so uh, this was a good way for me to not take aspirin, but to take a pen and say, okay, I'm surrounded by a lot of narcissistic people, and I'm doing a tiny head tilt, and I'm losing a lot of friends, and I'm documenting stuff, and I'm like, God, I didn't think the world could be like this, but here we go. The name of this poem is We Are, and it's dedicated to Joe Scarborough. We are the students in total fury marching for our rights of our life. We are the children and the young adults who grew up hastily overnight. We are the parents, the friends, and the family not threatened by the NRA's bluff. We are devastated, heartbroken, and driven. Enough is enough. We are the undertakers preparing riddled bodies of victims falling to gun violence. We are the lens and the ears that hear the screams and the cries of a cemetery that holds no silence. We are the activists, voters, supporters, disappointed in our legislators' no vote on gun laws. We are the senators and congressmen who let money reveal the weakness of our flaws. We are the blue and white collar workers who stood by and watched as corporate America shipped our jobs overseas. We are the betrayed, the lied to, and we are definitely not pleased. We are the punished, the retaliated against. Our rights were signed away. We are the employees who suffered, and we are in total dismay. We are the entire White House staff that works in an atmosphere created by fear. We are the men and women tolerating the chaos, scandals, awaiting the moment of the final frontier. We are the poor, the middle class, the homeless, and tired. We are no longer your working class because we've all been fired. We are corporate banks, never judged harshly or indicted on too big to fail. We are black, brown, beige who didn't commit a felony but was quickly introduced to a jail cell. We are mentally disabled, shame framed, and blamed for every intentional incident. We are the first budget cut. There are no institutions, jails are not the cure, nor should it be our residence. We are without support systems and there is no triage. We are on the opposite end of the spectrum. Our lives are being sabotaged. We are labeled as socially unacceptable, the worst of the worst behaviors. We are isolated from society. Who will be our savior? We are scientists, think tanks, entrepreneurs, gathering information from the four corners of the earth. We're a good nation investing in artificial climate change, education, cancer, and multiple disease research. We are the media, journalists, writers that need to be reassured democracy did not die in the darkness. We are the intelligent minds who must continue to recognize the man who seeks power and is unorganized and lacks the skill sets of smartness. We are breaking news where many stories rapidly unfold. We are confused. There are many strategies and tools our brain can use for sensory overload. We are the athletes, sports executives, and com- uh, commentators socialized in a culture of gambling, drugs, and alcohol use. We are the women whose voice are heard, women who rose to the occasion and remain to fight against sexual harassment, child and spousal abuse. We are immigrants, grand guardians, and protectors taking a stand. We are the children of the undocumented that has every right to reside on U.S. land. We are UK, United States, Germany in total disagreement of Russian sinister acts of war. We are the messengers with our megaphones serving notice to Russian czars. We are the special counsel FBI investigators gathering evidence into the Russian probe. We are staying focused, factual, and thorough, seeking the gaps and closing down the loopholes. We are the pragmatists, listeners, humble, and ready to jumpstart the conversation. We are Susan Rice and General H.R. McMaster's National Security Advisors, understanding the relevance of communication. We are command taking command, working with all faculties and common sense. We are the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, honoring the strategies of a strong Secretary of Defense. We are the red states and the blue states with difference of opinion taking different action. We are the United States, a nation that can govern unlike McConnell, Ryan, and the GOP faction. We are religious, God-fearing. Let no man put asunder. We are all God's creature, not the commander-in-chief creation. This is why he lost his thunder. We are the great lens of our nation, vigilant and perched upon the highest steeple. We are engineers, architects, map makers with a new design and new direction for a brighter future. We are the people. This poem was motivated by the word good, not great, dedicated to Joe Scarborough. So Joe Scarborough, Knights of MSNBC Roundtable. So that's what I would do. Every time the predecessor would act out, I would go and write. And whenever I write and I look back, I think, oh boy, you know, uh, this is really a lot. And and everything that's going on now is aligning up with all the stories that I had wrote back then. And that's why I said it was a roadmap, because my thoughts was and since he's in office, and if he ever goes on trial, who's gonna down his head till who's gonna really understand um, how to bring him, bring to prosecute him? Because on 8/14, uh, 1999, 25 years ago, a diagnosis landed in my lap. And when I looked at it, I said I was going to learn everything I possibly can about it. But I had to search. And in that search, I ended up uh, looking at all types of disabilities, reading through all types of books, gathering all types of information. Because I said, I'll be writing to Joe every day, to Mika every day. And so I took the time away to kind of um, write and write and write. This blog is not for the TikTokers because I know they got short attention span. So I just tell you, don't even bother. But anyway, so that's what I did. And here we are. And here the predecessor is on trial. And I'm going to be honest. And I'll say this to you guys. I really, for Bloom, to his attorney, I guess he probably wished that he had some information um, on the predecessor's behavior and the outcome, how he would react so he could counteract his behavior. But what I want to say before I get off is, I noticed that in the media, you keep saying that his family is not there. Uh, I noticed that you keep saying that um, it looks really bad, but you're gonna have to realize that that's your process, but that's not the predecessor, because his process is there's no shame. He he he's God. He doesn't need anybody. You kneel before him. You his major goal is winning. Winning is everything. Not living, but winning. And also, you have to understand that you're creating a narrative like, oh, woe is me, Donald Trump. Don't let that catch you up. That's not who he is. You're not human. You're just a tool. And his biggest goal, he's on to the next. You're just his supply. And that's what hurt a lot of people that deal with this type of characteristics or alleged behavior of the predecessor. So when you say, I wonder what's in his head, he's in his head. He's his king. And you are nothing. You're nothing. And you never will be. And anybody that do his bidding, well, you see how that's coming out. And we don't have to ask Michael Cohen, because everybody will be served. And as one of the judges said on Legal AF, I think it was Jaffe, she talked about plausible deniability. Absolutely. Everybody else, not him. It will never be him. And you will always pay the price. So just think about what I'm saying. Because that day when he did all those things and said all those things about Mika and talked about Joe, I thought, Jesus Christ, this isn't happening. This could be our president of the United States. And you better believe people are watching. They are watching. And if you lean on that sword a little bit, and that's what you'll do, because you're probably empathetic. You're going to show remorse, but he doesn't. And that's something that you're going to have to remember. Once again, the predecessor is everything to everybody else. And he's nothing to himself. He's nothing to himself. Because if you go home with him, it's like two different people. You'll be sitting there wondering why people are telling you about the wonderful things that they do. And you'll be sitting there thinking, he never does that. He never tells me that. Friends will be telling you, and you'll be like, we're friends, and they don't treat me that way. They don't. You got it wrong. But that's just something that was on my mind, the March 2018, because like I said, it all lines up. It's all there. It was a blog. It was my way of blowing off my steam. And it was a good tool, because it has all come back. It has all come, every story that you put out there, I have a story, a roadmap, educational information, about behaviors. It's all there. It's all there. And I wanted to make sure it was there, because One thing a narcissist do, they will make you think that you are losing your mind. If I had said today about, well, you know, this happened to Mika and Joe, I would have got that head tilt. No, no, that didn't happen. It happened. And not only did it happen, I decided to write it down. I decided to make a poem about it. And I thought, here we are again today. And I'm going to look in this blog and I'm going to see what lines up with today to make sure that I'm really moving forward. Because if we think about everything today that's going on, you will feel like you're not making any progress. And that's how I felt then, that no progress is being made. No progress. So, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. And I just wanted to share my March 18th, my March 19th, 2018. And whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever comes up, there's something documented in that blog that lines up as a perfect match. And so on that note, I hope that the team at MSNBC have a good day. Midas Touch, Legal AF. There's a lot of, places that I go and peep around and look at, and I'm rather enjoying it because I'm constantly learning. I am learning, and I will continue to learn. And so on that note, hey, who knows? We're into this trial, and I got this pen here, and somebody else may get a poem. But you guys have a good day, and I'm out.